Hello, everyone. Let me first start by introducing myself. My name is Kawthar bin Sulayem, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I started my journey like you guys, taking online courses and learning about entrepreneurship and what I could do. So lesson number one in PR, always introduce yourself in situations or gatherings. So I'd love for you guys to introduce yourself really quickly. Please go ahead.
Okay, guys, the way that I want you to do this, can you raise your hand in the class and I'll pick people one by one to speak. That way you're not all speaking at once. So please use the classroom to raise your hand. Okay, great. So Mohammed Safir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Mohammed Safir. I study at ISCS and and thank you for coming here.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you for
Nice meeting you.
Perfect. Abdulaziz?
Hi, my name is Abdulaziz Al Amri. I study at Al Rah International School, and thank you, Miss, for coming.
Perfect.
Nice meeting you, Abdulaziz.
Ahmed Al Moza?
Hello, my name is Ahmed. Nice to talk to you.
Nice meeting you, Ahmed.
Okay. Farah Ahmed? Farah? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi. My name is Bara. I'm 17 years old. I'm from the United States of America. And I'd really like to see how this lecture would go, and hopefully it will be for the best. Thank you very much for coming in a difficult time.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Layla Ahmed?
Hi, my name is Layla and I'm 17 years old, and it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Layla. Nice meeting you.
Fatima Faizan?
Hi,
Okay.
my name is Fatima, and I'm homeschooled, and I'm looking forward to hearing your talk.
Nice meeting you, Fatma.
Sam Fulton?
Hi, my name is Sam. I go to Al Raha International School, and I can't wait to hear you speak.
Nice meeting you too.
Okay. Maria Salam? Okay. Mohammed?
Hi, my name is El Maria and I go to Batin and I look forward for this lecture.
Nice meeting you, Maria.
Okay. Nora Al Nasri?
Hi, my name is Noor Al Nasri. I go to Sheikh Said Private Academy and I look forward to hearing from you.
Nice meeting you, Nora.
Reem Yusuf?
Hi, my name is Reem. I'm very excited to hear about the process and how you became an entrepreneur in this lecture.
Sure, Reem.
Mohammed Qasim?
Hello, my name is Muhammad Qasim. I'm 17 years old. I recently graduated from Al Nahda National School, and I'm excited to listen about your journey.
Thank you, Mohammed. I'm excited to talk to all of you.
Okay, we only have a few left now, so you can speak at will. If anyone else would like to introduce themselves, just go ahead.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Of course.
Hi, my name is Omar. I'm 15 years old, and I'm from the American International School of Abu Dhabi. And I can't wait to actually hear about the way you became and where you are from, what your position is.
Thank you, Omar.
Great. So what we'll do now, I'll just allow a few more seconds if anybody else would like to speak, and if not, we can move on. Okay, Kawthar, thank you.
So guys, this conversation, I want it to be very casual, very educational, very interactive. What we've done now, the exercise that we practiced just now, introducing each other, is exercise number one in PR. It's one of the basic things in public relation. And it's very important to make sure that wherever you go, you always need to make sure that you introduce yourself, even if it's a very tricky situation. So this is my lesson number one of today's conversation. I want to know, does anyone know what PR is? This will be an interactive session, so keep your microphones on whenever you want to talk.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, speak, it's fine.
PR is the company's relation with the public for example, how Coca-Cola's relationship with the public is, for example.
You're correct, Abdulaziz. So public relation, everyone needs public relation. If you are a Baqala, if you are PepsiCo, or if you are a Rah International School. So every person needs PR, which PR stands for public relation. Public relation is either an individual or an entity trying to spread a message to a mass audience, either internally within their organization or within their business, or externally. It's a very fun and engaging way of interacting with others and communicating with them. There are different ways of public relation, how you can perform public relation. It could be in written, where people write press releases, for example, or they write stories, for example, or it could be through social media, through tweeting, and Instagram conversations, or like this, what we're doing now, communicating with each other. So this is in brief what public relation is. I want to ask everyone here if you guys have a favorite brand or a favorite store that you can share with me. Give me examples of your favorite brand. Tesla, good choice. What else?
So anyone can speak now, guys. Just speak at will.
Apple.
Nice, good. Sam had a very good choice. Who else?
Come on, guys, don't be shy. We did this.
Don't be shy. This is a conversation.
Adidas.
Okay, and you said Nike?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what these brands have in common?
Well, all of them are well known.
All these brands are very good at public relation. Why? I'm pretty sure Sam and Abdulaziz and the rest of the team here like these brands because they are futuristic, because they are engaging, because they are cool, because they are affordable or accessible, and so many other things. How did you guys as consumers knew about these brands? How did you engage with these brands? Can someone share examples like of your experience knowing about Nike, for example, their Jordans? I know everyone loves the Jordans, or Tesla with their futuristic and very optimistic ideas. Tell me please, how did you find out about these brands?
So I know about Tesla just from the internet fame that they have. They have a very good internet image, and it's honestly amazing how good they keep it there.
So what you've just mentioned is exactly what PR does. Once you have a product, okay, and it's a product that is needed in the market, and it's not a product just like any other, it's unique, it's niche, you build your strategies. We call something in public relations strategies, means how are you going to communicate these brand values to the normal consumer, so they understand what you stand for, what you believe in, what is the product. The product is for who, like some brands, they have products that doesn't appeal to everyone. There's a select group of people who like these products. Let's say if you are into collecting sneakers, Jordans is for you. Everyone wants to, for example, collect Jordans. So it's an exercise of PR. When these companies like Tesla, Nike, and Adidas put products out there, they purposely make it exciting for consumer. They purposely make it easy to digest. If you look at their communication, either on social media or on videos, or when they sponsor a football team, they don't just have their brand logo, they also have a tagline. They also have people talking about the brand. This is called in public relation talking tools. So they're using celebrities, they're using sports athletes, they're using fans from the community to be their talking tools, and they become their marketing and PR individuals. Anyone else wants to share any other example?
Microsoft would be an example.
Yes, great. I actually have something here for you guys about Microsoft and Bill Gates, but I'll show it to you later. What do you like about Microsoft's communication?
Well,
You can go.
I'm not sure. Wait, what do you mean by the communication exactly?
Like, what do you like? Do you like the fact that they have a nice logo? Do you like the fact that they work in communities and they reinvested their money in communities? Like, what makes Microsoft appealing to you?
Overall, the thing that makes it appealing, in my opinion, is the industry they've made, the amount of work they've done. That's what really makes me appeal to them, especially in Windows.
So they basically attracted your attention because they showcased the industry they're in, the excitement things in the industry. That's another form of PR as well. Everything we do, what I'm trying to say here is that PR can be used everywhere, anywhere, anytime. If you're a student, you need PR. If you want to stand out between all your peers, you use PR to make sure that you present yourself, you position yourself, you brand yourself, and you communicate clearly. If you are an entrepreneur, you need PR to promote your business. If you are an individual that loves to do charity work, you need PR to inform people of the good work you are doing so they can join you and support you. Can you guys share examples of maybe situations where you've used PR in your personal life?
In school, when I was trying to become be a part of the sports council, I used my popularity in my grade and in my sports clubs to promote me and to show that I was a good representative in the class to be in sports council.
This is an amazing example because you've used your popularity in school to say, I'm the right person and the right fit for this organization or this club. And the people who support me are going to go and talk about me. And this is a great example of how PR can influence decision makers and influence people to start thinking differently. So I really love this example. Anyone else has a personal example here?
Yeah, so this one's a bit more, I think everybody else might have done this as well. Although this one's a bit on smaller scale than what Sam said. It's when you act like a good son, so that you want to go out with your friends at some point.
Yeah.
And you act very politely for the week, at least better than usual, just so you get the chance to go out.
Yeah, you have to, of course, this is also something, we all use. I did it as a kid, and even I do it now as an adult. If I want something, I have to show them that I deserve it. So, we call it self-branding. So Mohammed, in PR, that's very important when you try to, for example, show people that you can change and you can adapt and you can do certain things to make others happy or yourself happy. Basically is a tactic. This is a tactic. I'm trying to find a great example to fit that, but definitely this tactic has been used a lot, and I think a lot of people underestimate the power of PR, and they think PR is just for business. But PR is actually goes, as I mentioned earlier, across life. Even at home, even with teachers, even if you have a younger brother or younger sister and you want to convince them not to jump to the pool a certain way, you have to use your PR tactics to make sure they understand that it's clearly communicated, it's a safety measure. If you did this, maybe mom will be angry, and all of that. So do you guys know what forms of PR people use usually? Like, is it print? Is it digital?
I believe now that the online world is so popular, the best way to get through to people or to get recognized is from online. And I've been seeing that a lot more now. So I think it's more online and digital.
Yes, I agree with you. What about traditional media? Does anyone knows anything about traditional media?
Mohammed Kasim, just raise your hand, or Mohammed Safia.
Yeah, so I thought just normal word of mouth. It's a
Hmm.
pretty strong way of PR. It's an old one, but it's always still been strong.
Very good.
Yes. Word of mouth have always been the strongest PR tool through centuries. So this is a very important element. Sam mentioned digital media. You can see now that even social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of them are using, all the brands are using them to communicate their products, their sales, their offerings. But at the same time, traditional media like TV, print like newspapers, The National or magazines, are now using social media as well. They're adapting their traditional media into a new way of communicating with the public. Do you guys know how normally people can actually get their story covered by any of the media publication? How do you get yourself covered into media?
By doing
I have
some act in the community, maybe.
Can you say that again, Abdulaziz? I didn't hear you.
By doing some sort of kind act in the community, the news, the local news would cover it.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything from their perspective?
by having a big followership who actually looks and listens to everything that you do. Big enough followership, it'll become big at some point, and you'll go on the news at some point.
What Muhammad and Abdulaziz said are important, but the first step of getting yourself noticed is relationships. You have to start building relationships. So if you want to get yourself featured on The National, you first need to introduce yourself to that journalist or the editor and telling them about your project or what you do, and you follow that with a brief. So you send them a brief and say, well, I have a charity event. This is what I'm doing with a bunch of friends. This is the criteria. This is the timeline. This is what's going to happen. Please, if you're interested to cover it, this is the base information. And then the journalist takes it and covers it. So this is one form of communicating, but it always starts with relationship. Even if you want to get exposure on social media, let's say through an influencer, the first thing you do is you communicate with them. Have anyone had an experience like that?
Personally, I haven't.
Fatma, go ahead.
Personally, I haven't, but last year my cousin, like, he's in marketing, but like he wanted to start his own business, so he started like a tiramisu business, and he basically sent samples to like just like popular media influencers so that they would post about it, and so people would like hear about it because he was doing it all online.
Yeah. So the form of communication he views is introduction to his product. But then the social media influencers took that information. He probably sent them a leaflet or something about the ingredients, what's in this cake, and what's special about it, and they've used that in the marketing. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to know from your perspectives some of the initial ideas you have for a business, and how do you think you're going to PR it? So I want you guys to think about this. We can come back to it. I wanted to show you some books. There is one book actually I don't have here, but I'll encourage you to read. It's called Married to the Brand. Married to the Brand is a book that explains customer loyalty, consumers' obsession, and relationship with the brands through PR exercises. It's a very, very interesting book if you want to learn more about PR. Another example I wanted to show you is this book. I don't know if you can see this book. This book is by Malala. Okay. The book called We Are Displaced. This book is very interesting, and also her other books are very interesting because she used her tragedy, the incident that she had, as a powerful PR tool to campaign and champion women education. So I will encourage you that always look at like successful personalities They've used PR successfully. Like Malala is one of them. Malala did not accept the fact that, you know, she went through hard time and that, you know, she's a victim. She took that power and used it as a PR to bring partners and companies to support women education. So this is a very interesting book. Another book I want to give an example of, I'll show you. The book of Sheikh Mohammed. I bet everyone knows Sheikh Mohammed. You have to know that Sheikh Mohammed has been recognized for his amazing PR tactics to promote the Emirate of Dubai. How Dubai is promoted globally, not even locally. How he positioned, you know, Dubai through PR, through appearing in shows like 60 Minutes, like you know, Bloomberg and things like that. It's also a form of PR. So sometimes you have individuals who are the ones, we call them in PR spokespeople, and they are the one who speaks on behalf of a company or an entity or a city or a government or a project. So please learn from these books. It will give you a lot of insights. This is one of my favorite books. Do you know this guy?
Yes.
Yes.
So Barack Obama, I love this book. It's about his life and, you know, dreams of his father, of, you know, for him as a son. But Barack was very successful of bringing people together by promoting the message of hope. But how did he do that? Is through speaking opportunities. Part of PR exercises are speaking opportunities. I'll give you a simple example. When I started my business, I did not have a lot of money to, you know, market myself or advertise myself. So what I did, I went to all the events that focused on entrepreneurship and startups and told them I would offer my time for free to talk to people. I will offer my time for free to be on stage talking about my journey, the challenges I faced. And to me, it was an opportunity to PR myself and my business. So it was a free advertising for my business. So PR doesn't necessarily always means it's a press release. Sometimes it's a speaking opportunity. Sometimes, you know, it's meetings. Sometimes it's social media posts. Sometimes supporting an initiative. So don't limit yourself when you think of PR. Another great book that I would recommend that everyone reads, The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates. This book really describes, you know, as a woman, for example, for her as a woman, how she faced a lot of challenges, especially when she took over the foundation, the Bill Gates Foundation, and how she had to bring all her friends who are, you know, who's who, to support the causes alongside them. And she did a lot of interesting activities in this book that is used in PR today. So these are some of the books. I don't know, did you guys read any of these books before?
No,
I've
but
read Sheikh Mohammed. I've
Please
read Sheikh Mohammed's book. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's nice because it's storytelling. It tells you about
Exactly.
how he managed to run a city like a business.
Yes. It was good.
I'll be interested to know about your feedback and everyone's feedback once you read these books and what you think and what you've learned from it. But for now, let's go back to your business ideas.
Okay,
So
so
who wants to start?
So if you can, one person, like if you could raise your hands in the group, and I will select one person from each group to talk about their idea. Great, we have some hands raised, brilliant. Right now we just have all boys, so I'd like a few girls to speak, please. I know we have some strong female business ladies in the group, so that would be great. Get a couple of girls, but we'll start with what we have so far. So let's have Mohammed Safia.
Yeah, so our group's name is Biotiki. We're group number 5. And our project was on sustainable energy innovation. And so after much discussion and many different ideas getting thrown around, we came up with, one of our team members actually came up with the idea of using the humidity in the air to power a hydroelectric generator to generate electricity. So this also has the useful byproduct of producing pure water that anyone can drink. And so, in a purely PR perspective, this is a great product. It's a humanitarian cause. It's a humanitarian cause. It has barely any side effects, bad effects. Everything's almost good about it. And so, yeah. And also, we're planning to make it a non-profit as well. So, as PR goes, this is a pretty good product, I think we've got.
You want to be a social entrepreneur? Is that what you're aiming for?
Yeah.
I like your business idea, and I think you should also consider linking it to the SDGs, you know, to the global goals of United Nations, because there's a huge connection there. And in terms of PR, this is also a powerful association if you link your project to a goal as big as the United Nations goals, development goals.
Yes.
But my advice to you is as well is to really understand the publication that cover news, either digital or print or TV or whatever format, that cover news that's focused on sustainability. In the UAE, there are not too many. So you will have to also focus on regional publications and medias. And there's something called Media Kit. This is something every business should have. And a media kit is what exactly? I'm telling you this terminology because I expect you guys to go and do your own research later. But a media kit is basically your first introduction to media. So when you go to the National or let's say Al-Ittihad, the first thing you give them is the media kit. So the media kit contains information on the founders, like the business owners, their bios. It contains information about the business itself. What do you offer? What is it? It contains facts and figures about the business. How much money have you invested? How much return you think you've secured if the business already established? If the business is new, who do you think you want to partner up? Basically generic information, because journalists like to receive things ready to evaluate. So this will be my advice to you, Mohammed.
Yes, okay, thank you for that.
No problem.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. So let's have Bara Gilmore, please.
Yes, hi. Okay, so our idea, the name for the idea for the business is called Grow Green. And basically our team was breaking down the different problems, especially the UAE has been facing, and came up with a solution to plastic pollution where we would be using algae as an alternative for plastic. Yeah, so and as well as for, so it covers all the different kind of plastics, and it helps environment in many ways. In our presentation, we go into depth about that. So yeah, that's basically it.
I love the fact that a lot of students and people in our community are focusing on green and sustainability. This is really good. There are a lot of exciting things happening in the UAE. I think my recommendation will be for you is to read up more about the UAE plastic policy that has recently been launched, so you can actually use some of that information to make your business stronger. I would also suggest that you look up some interesting personalities through the World Economic Forum. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the World Economic Forum. If not, please read about it. The World Economic Forum has interesting personalities from different countries that started green businesses from nothing. They literally had like $50. So I think it's really interesting to look at their experiences, what they've gone through, and also how they use PR to promote their NGOs or their initiatives. I met some of them last year in New York during the United Nations General Assembly, and I was fascinated to see young people really doing great things in sustainability and the green environment and in the green sector, sorry. So I think you should look up at these people and connect with them and learn from their experiences, because businesses like that changes policies, and you need to know how to use PR, not just from a promotional perspective, but also from relationship building. So this will be my advice on how you can use PR in your business.
That's really great. We didn't know about that. Thank you for pitching and telling. I appreciate it so much.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Can we have Guru Abdul Aziz Al-Mari from Group 4.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk. So our group is an agricultural and food is the agricultural and food division, and we're planning on creating an app which connects local farmers to the people. For example, you would think Alibaba or an app similar to that, and we would the app would allow farmers to communicate with ordinary people so that we can encourage organic food growth. And also we can for example, like if someone wanted organic new stock of lettuce, they could immediately contact the farmer itself instead of going to the supermarket where the prices are inflated. They would contact the farmer itself and the farmer would put his own prices. Therefore, it would increase competition and it would also lower the prices of food.
Guys, you don't understand how happy I am to hear all these ideas, because this is exactly what we need as a society. And your ideas as young people, regardless of your background and where you come from, is so much aligned with the national agenda of the UAE. The agriculture sector and the food security sector is very important, especially now, Abdulaziz, with the COVID-19 situation. People and economies are being evaluated based on food security and healthcare investment. So for you to think of an idea to connect local farmers, you are hitting a goal of making sure that our local farmers survive and not give up on their business. You're making sure that our products are been utilized properly and maybe exported to other countries around us through this app, hopefully, inshallah. And it also gives convenient for buyers and consumers. So I like the approach. I would also recommend for you to look at the new tech farmers that are coming up in the UAE, like Madar Farms. You also have Pure Harvest. It's another one, Lota Farm. And I want you to also look at the food security, Ministry of Food Security, and the work that the UAE has been doing to secure food, not just for the UAE, but for the region. Maybe this will also influence your ideas in terms of who you want to partner up with, what kind of people need to be engaged in your business idea, but more importantly, how to utilize these businesses to PRU. Because if they sign up with your app, they have to promote it to their database of consumers. You are the bridge between the farmers and the consumers. So even the supermarkets and stuff that stocks local farmers products, I think this is a great idea. So well done on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, all right, good stuff. Right, so we have 2 groups left. I see some hands raised for Group 2. I don't at present see any hands raised for Group 3. So while Group 2 are talking, if somebody from Group 3 could raise their hand, that would be great. But
where are the females? Where are the females?
Don't worry, I will pick somebody at random from Group 3 who's a girl if nobody raises their hand. Right now, it's going to have to be a guy, but we will end strong with a girl, don't worry. But right now, we'll have, let's have Sam Fulton speak on behalf of Group 2, Health and Wellbeing.
So my group is Health and Wellbeing, and our group idea is to help kids that are maybe overweight or even obese. The way that we would do this is depending on their dedication or weight, we'd have a specific course for them so that they could work at not only their own pace, but a healthy way for them, because maybe one type of person would be more advanced than them, and they couldn't do that course. So we are having courses for each type of person, no matter how obese.
So customized courses for people.
Yeah.
And how are you planning to implement these courses?
So at the start of this, there would be a simple few questions like your weight, your height, and just questions about them. And depending on their answers, there would be different courses to match their skill bases, stuff like that.
I will give you some interesting fact here. I'm a big fan of health and fitness. I'm a big believer that health and fitness should be something from a grassroots level. From day one, person is born, health and fitness should be a thing. And when they go to school, it should be, you know, kids should be learning about macros and healthy eating way early than what we do today. So I like the fact that you're customizing the program. What I would say from my experience within this sector is that a lot of people get intimidated by health and fitness, especially if they are out of shape. And this is a reality. Even if they are not out of shape, they're just intimidated to go and like be out there, you know, in a group format or classes. So think of doing something, because you already started with personalization programs. Think of something that gives these people a support group. The kids who wants to be in a support group, they can work together, same category. If someone is trying to lose weight, someone is trying to get fit, you know, work on that. And also, I think it's very important to put in the program some facts and figures. Like a lot of people underestimate, if we have a child that's obese, how much does it cost to your parents and to the government and to the country to actually care for an obese child or for an unhealthy child? That's a lot of money. And we talked about investment in health. So I think do some reading about that, like try to get some numbers to strengthen your idea in terms of, if we do this early on and we implement this in schools early on or like in households, we will be saving the government X amount of money or X amount from their parents or their health insurance. Always link it to numbers. People like to see numbers.
Okay, that's great advice. Thank you for that.
And from a PR perspective, make fitness cool, make it fun. You know, like a lot of people I see in like social media, they post, let's say a photo of a yoga instructor, but the yoga instructor looks unhappy. Don't do that. Try to make it fun, engaging, that, you know, this is a very, very fun thing to do and this is cool.
Yeah, we actually had an idea about that, saying there would be competitions, and if you won the competition, you would get a prize, and so that they would keep dedicated and wouldn't give up first week.
See, guys, everything you've mentioned here in terms of your ideas, in terms of what you're aiming to reach, all of this are PR opportunities. And I hope next time, or through your own research and self-learning, I encourage self-learning, that you will identify how you can tweak a story to make it so positive and so exciting. This is very important, because you know what? There are so many things in business, you know, that you will have to learn by yourself. They don't teach you these things in schools or in universities. You have to practice, you have to try, you have to make mistakes, and you have to learn how to take positive things from a mistake and turn it into something good. So in entrepreneurship, regardless of the sector, you have to do self-learning. You have to invest in that. And when I say invest in that, it's time, more important than anything else. It's not the money, it's time for you to read, for you to analyze, for you to take good, you know, messages from an article, to think about it, reflect, and see how that can be a positive thing for your business idea.
Okay, thank you.
Alpha, I don't think there's anyone in this chat from the group 3, the job app. If you like, because this is being recorded, I'll just quickly tell you their idea, and I'll message the group, and then you can see your response. Okay, just trying to improvise here. So I'll just put their idea on the screen. So their idea is basically, it's an app called Job Find, and during the Corona crisis, many people are either taking salary cuts or are being put out of work. And so a lot of people still want to stay in the UAE. So to do that, just their idea is basically to create an app which not only finds people jobs, but actually gives them skills, and especially social skills, in order to be more employable. So it's an app that trains them how to be more employable and then connect with businesses. So ideally they would be telling you this, but because they're
Yeah.
all off, this is their idea, and we can send their response, your response to them.
It's a great idea, especially there are a lot of people been affected because of this pandemic on a global scale. It's something that I can see that it's scalable as a business, but they really need to know and understand what's out there in the market. There are a lot of projects that are doing similar things, so they have to set themselves aside and offer something that these like businesses or apps don't offer. That will be my recommendation. And I think my advice is that a lot of people who lost their jobs, unfortunately, will not be able to find jobs straight away. This is a crisis, it's a global crisis. So what I would suggest is for them to focus on the freelancing sector, because people still want to do business, but they can't afford hiring someone full-time job. So I would recommend that they evaluate and study the sector, the freelancing part, and see how can they take individuals that have been affected by the pandemic, and instead of them just losing a job, but develop new skills that can fit the freelancing sector so they can still do business. And maybe eventually they will become entrepreneurs, full-time entrepreneurs. They won't go back to the workforce as employees. So this will be my recommendation, because there's a lot of competition in the market. And I think it's very important to really see what the competition are doing.
That's great advice. And I just offer a little bit of my insight on that as well. So I've been in full-time employment for about 10 years as a teacher, and recently I'm now freelance. So what I do with my organization, we create pitches, and we, like we are now, we're going on Zoom chat and we pitch our idea to businesses. Now, I would say probably 1 out of 5 pitches might actually be secure a deal. And so when you're an entrepreneur, you have to accept that it's just hard work. And for every 5 pitches or meetings that you have, you might only get 1 deal, but you just don't have to be, get yourself down by that, because 1 deal is better than 0, and you just keep going. And for every deal that you get, you build a relationship. So I'm building a relationship up now with the Khalifa Fund. And in the future, I might be able to use them again. So as soon as you get those first few deals as an entrepreneur, then the hard work is mostly done, because then you can start to grow. It's just making that initial start. So that's great advice there, Kauthar. Sorry to jump in there, but I just from my insight on that matter.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I know we've passed a little bit of time, but I just want to highlight something for everyone here. Entrepreneurship, people make entrepreneurship look and sound glamorous. It's not glamorous. I have to be honest with you. It's for people who want to work hard, and for those who want to really make a difference, and for those who they believe in themselves and the difference they want to make in society. It's not an easy job. So don't think getting into business or entrepreneurship gonna be an easy thing. Even if you get funding, sometimes people get funding, but excuse my language, they suck at the business. But why? Because they don't have the passion. So whatever business you start, make sure you have the passion. And I always tell this to young entrepreneurs: start a business that you want to do when you are 15 and 20 and 30 and 50 and 80. If you are willing to invest your time to that extent, that's the business for you. That's because you have to show commitment. It's not an easy thing. And sometimes in entrepreneurship, people will give you a lot of hard time. Not just strangers, but the closest people will tell you, why are you working too hard? Like, you could get a job and just, it's easy. Just get a job and you get paid every month. This is what happened to me. When I started my business, I worked in the government. I worked in a very, very good position. I was a spokesperson for a city. I was very proud of my job, but at the same time, I was not fulfilled. So when I started my business, my mother told me, and my brothers, they started laughing at me. They said, are you crazy? Are you crazy to leave a very high paying job in the government with such a good reputation? You are in the media all the time. You are like famous and all of that, for an entrepreneurship opportunity to start a business that might not work. They literally told me this: you are crazy and you're stupid. But I didn't let that affect me, because I believe that there is a need for what I'm trying to do. I suffered. There were times where I had no money. I spent all my savings. Money management, guys. I will tell you something about money management and entrepreneurship. Please learn about this early on. You don't need to have thousands and hundreds of thousands to start a business. You can start with a small money. I started selling nuts at home on a Friday to my family because they were too lazy to go to the grocery store and buy nuts for themselves. So just like be creative and understand that's not going to be an easy journey, but I know that you guys have interesting ideas, and I know you will evolve and you will learn and you will continue learning. So take this opportunity of this camp to really, maximize on it and learn from different people. Like follow Khalifa Fund Instagram account. They continue to post success stories of entrepreneurs in the UAE. Learn about their training programs. There are so many training programs that they offer, not necessarily just for, it's for public. So please use these opportunities. Our country have offered this for everyone, and I think it's an opportunity for learning. And what I want to end this with is, I know that time is, I don't know, Ben, if that's okay or not, but if you have any questions for me about PR, about entrepreneurship, please feel free to ask.
Perfect. So guys, that's a very good opportunity and offer there from Ms. Kalfa. So just raise your hands and I will pick you based on your hands being raised. Okay, we're getting the usual suspects here. So we're going to go with Mr. Gilmore. Would you like to speak?
Yeah, this is in terms of our idea, and for people that are, like say I am trying to start my own business, correct? How would you suggest, especially, for, young people like us at the age of, 17, 16, 18, like that, to, to communicate it to people outside or to other people so that you can grow your business? Because, I mean, if you look at it in some way, people sometimes look down on kids because we're kids, we're teenagers. They don't, really see us as being serious, or they just give this as an idea. That's my.
I would say my recommendation will be, the first thing I want to tell you is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Wherever you can get knowledge that is, affecting your business. Because when you have so much knowledge and you know your stuff, and you go to an investor or to a partner or a government entity, they will realize that you have invested so much time and energy, and then they will take you seriously because they know that you know your stuff. You're not just a young kid, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, you're right. Some people look at kids and say, oh, they're kids. But you have to go with the mindset of, I might be young now, but I'm the future leader of this sector, or I'm the future leader in this area. I look at the examples. I mentioned the examples to you specifically because your industry stuff. Look at the examples worldwide of your people your age that change the way things are done. And you will realize, sometimes, I don't know if you know about this quote. Basically, the quote means that people might not give you the respect, but you should demand it. Yes. And I don't want you to misunderstand the quote. Demanding it is by showing them that I have the knowledge, I have the strength, I have the experience that I've gained through research and learning, and I'm serious about this business, and I'm not giving up. I'm not a person who gives up. Once you show them these qualities, their perception change. Like from my own experience, I've been into meetings and I had experience working in the government. Imagine, I was in meetings where people didn't take me seriously, but I was very determined to make sure they understand that they can't just underestimate me or my business idea. I will go somewhere. So if you have knowledge, that will show in your attitude, but it's not arrogant, it's knowledge-based. You see, you have to be very careful how you use this.
Thank you very much. So you want, so I would look into this economic forum.
Yeah, educate yourself more and more about the sector, because trust me, I've been in meetings with a lot of senior individuals in leadership where the person who comes to present has so much knowledge than they do on that specific topic. And they respect that because they know they're not the experts in that area, or they don't have enough knowledge in that area. And you can see that. But don't let this put you down. You will be going through meetings where they won't take care, like they won't care about you or your business idea. Just look at that as a learning. Those people who let you down or didn't believe in your idea, they just don't understand it. You have to go to people who will understand it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We can't hear you, Ben.
You're muted. Sorry, Mohammed Kasim, would you like to speak? Okay, Mohammed, I can see your hand raised, no problem. Is there anybody else that would like to ask Ms. Kauthar a question? Okay, Abdulaziz Al-Nari, do you want to ask something?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your business?
Okay, I will encourage you to follow me on Instagram. I talk about all my businesses on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Kauthar bin Sulayem Official. Okay. So I started my business. If you talk about when I started my business, I was 9 years old. I started selling nuts and ice drinks at family gatherings. So that was my first business. But then I've actually grown from that to starting a media and PR agency. So I am a media person by background. So that was my first business. And I started it in 2006 as a consultancy firm. And then from there, I evolved into a full-time employee of my own business. So I go to work every day. I don't have my name on a license and someone else runs the business for me. No, I actually actively work on my business. And then because I worked so hard on my first business, I was able to start other businesses. So I own another business called Mystaria, which is an artist representation agency. And then I co-founded another business called 917, which is a sports management agency. And I have a brand called Fashion Fever, where we do fashion consultancy. I'm not a fashion designer. None of my teams are, but I know how to do the fashion business. So I do a lot of like buying between fashion houses and designers from the region and so on. So I've grown one business and now I have 4 businesses, and I continue to maximize or diverse my portfolio, and I invest in young people and I invest in ideas. I always look for interesting ideas that doesn't necessarily just need the money, but needs something more than the money, the guidance, the experience, you know, the belief system, the support system, and so on. So this is in brief what I do.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so what I'd like to do before you go, Ms. Kauthar, thank you very much for your time today. You gave us an hour, so that's more than we expected. Before everyone goes, and you're not Ms. Kauthar, you work in PR, I want everyone to switch their videos on. What we can do, we can take a screenshot of everyone in today's session with their videos on, which we can then send to the PR and marketing teams for Khalifa Fund. So can we all please switch our videos on? And what I will do, I will switch to gallery view on my Zoom chat, take a screenshot, and then we have a nice souvenir, I guess, from today's talk. Also, this entire recording, this entire chat has been recorded. And I'll make that into a video file and then upload it to YouTube, and I'll share the link with you on the classroom so you can all rewatch this. And so, yeah, so I'm just going to give you 30 seconds or so to switch your videos on. Of course, this isn't compulsory. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it would be great if you did, because it helps us promote this course.
And I will promote it too, because I want to see our young individuals in this session thriving, and I want people to know about their ideas.
Perfect. Okay, so we have 6 people so far, 7 people now. Any more people would like to switch their video on? No? Is that it? Okay, we'll go 7's better than 0, I guess. Come on, guys, switch your videos on.
Where are the girls? Where are the women empowerment? Come on, boys, you should encourage women to kind of, you know, get out there.
We have Reem. Reem switched her videos on, so we have at least one representative of a lady.
Hey, Reem, good job.
Okay, then, right then. So I'll take the screenshot now. I think that's what as good as we're going to get. All right, so I'll give you a countdown from 3, and then I shall take the screenshot. So 3, 2, 1. Let's have a smile. There we go. Lovely. All right, perfect. So thank you very much, Ms. Kauthar. This video will be posted onto the classroom, and I'll share it with you in an email as well, if you'd like to use it for your own PR. And so, yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much, Ms. Kauthar. That's really nice of you. Thank you.
No, thank you for everyone. Thank you for having me. I hope this was helpful to everyone. And yeah, if you have any more questions, you can ask anytime, and Ben will make sure I get them.
I will do. Okay, guys, that's great. So that's the day ended. Because it's Friday, this is all we're going to do today. Tomorrow we'll start again with the group sessions, but I wish you all a very pleasant day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the group sessions. Thank you, Ms. Kauthar. Perfect.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.